Hey guys, welcome to One Brain Ops bonus content, and welcome to the giant problem. So, before we get into it, I need to explain what this video is. So, the previous ones that we put out on this channel of us playing Four of These People Are Lying and Two of These People Are Lying were recorded back in June of 2024, but that was actually our second attempt to record ourselves playing this game. So, we first tried it in January of 2024 with Carl, Libby, Darian, and Daniel myself, and Aiden was not available that weekend. But those recordings failed for a lot of reasons. So rather than using a table mic, which I got before we recorded in June, I had the brilliant idea of having us all sit at a table on our various devices and record the audio of a Discord call, and the results were not good. In short, there were a ton of awkward pauses as we were muting and unmuting, which made it feel not conversational and just clunky. At different times, some of us were way too loud and others were way too quiet. In this video, you'll hear Carl is much louder than everyone and Livy's much quieter than everyone, which I can't really do anything about. And I also didn't realize that recording this, it was going to pick up the sound of me muting and unmuting in Discord every time I did it, which was rather annoying to discover. Um, and in this video, you'll still hear a few of them where I, muted myself where someone else was talking, but I was able to get rid of most of them at least. And in addition to all of that, there was also a huge snowstorm that weekend, so we ended up starting 2 hours later than we wanted to because it took that long for the roads to be clear so Carl and Livy and Daniel could all get here. And then it took Darian another 3 hours after that to get here because he had been planning to drive in the night before, and that just ended up not being safe because of the weather. And it took the plows all day to clear the roads by him so he could get to the highway and get here. So, even with all of that, though, the resulting recording still would have been manageable, and I could have probably at least done something with it, if not for the constant echoes. So, the biggest issue was that we were constantly picking up each other's voices on our mics, and it was creating a ton of echo in the Discord call. And the worst of it was with Daniel's mic, which wasn't his fault. He was actually using my earbuds. Um, but basically, anytime anyone else talked, Daniel's mic was picking it up, and it was echoing, and we were echoing in, everybody's mics at different times, and a lot of it was just totally unlistenable, and there wasn't more than like 2 or 3 straight minutes without some ridiculous echoing in that whole day. So it was a completely lost session, except that at the end of the day, the battery in the earbuds that Daniel is using died, and so he dropped out. And the rest of us, before I let everybody leave, I made them do some bonus content that I had planned, and it's certainly not free of the echoes or volume differences or mute and unmute sound effects, but it is just about listenable. And everyone had a lot of fun with this part, and for reasons that'll become clear once we get into it, we could never hope to recreate it. So I want to get it out there anyway because it was fun to do, and this is what I have to work with. So I hope you guys can enjoy it. I should mention Darian was playing sound effects in Discord throughout, and he did a pretty good job with that. So I hope you'll enjoy that too, and I hope you can enjoy the giant problem, even with all the little problems that we managed to stack on top of it. All right, welcome back to One Brain Ops. This is some bonus content. My name is Ryan Brewer, and Daniel has dropped out for this call, but I'm still joined by the giant problem, Carl Holtz.
Will I ever stop being a problem?
The giant problem.
No.
I have no solution.
And the giant problem, Darian Frawley.
Hello.
Okay, so you're probably all wondering, am I muted still? Okay, no, I'm good.
No.
Okay, Discord's just slow. So you're probably all wondering why I introduced you all as the giant problem. So for a moment, I just want you all to imagine that we're playing Two of These People Are Lying, and the article that came up is the giant problem. What would you make up as a lie?
Hiroshima.
I was gonna go kind of the BFG route, but not the BFG. All the other ones, like the child chewer and the.
Mine would be the overarching issue that icebergs slowly are descending upon the water and destroying the habitats for a lot of the Arctic and Antarctic areas of land.
Yeah,
Okay.
fuck those icebergs.
See, I would totally buy Darian's answer, but surprisingly, Carl is the closest. Because what in fact it is, I need to get into this cabinet here. It is a book that I wrote when I was 7 years old, and I've told Darian and Carl about this before.
yes.
And for bonus content, we're going to read the giant problem. Carl, I think this needs your voice. So I'm going to have you read aloud the giant problem, and I'll put the pictures on the screen in the video so that people can follow the illustrations.
Do you want me to read about the author?
Yes, go ahead and read the about the author bio, and we can kind of react to this page by page.
About the author. My name is Ryan Brewer. I'm 7 years old. I am in first grade at Bayard School. I have one brother and 0 sisters.
Yes, Daniel, you were born when I was 12, not 7.
It's in 3BD before Daniel.
He dedicates this book to his family, except Daniel.
Yeah, notably not Daniel. He was not born yet.
The historians aren't sure if it's 4 or 5 BD.
The Giant Problem by Ryan Brewer. Wow. Once upon a time, there was a boy named Ryan. I'm going to show the picture for everyone here to see.
His arms are bigger than his torso. Looks like the most powerful hug's about to
So
happen.
hang on. I think we need to like stop and react between each page. So what would you like to comment about the first page of the book there?
That is the most intimidating typos I've ever seen, quite frankly.
I mean, it's absolutely the girth of the arms. Like they're like Darian's thunder thighs. For those who can't see, which is everybody, Darian is a beefcake, as they call him.
Self applause.
Is there anything else you'd like to comment about?
No.
Do you like how anatomically accurate it is and that there are 5 fingers on each hand? I'm the only child who ever drew hands every single time with exactly 5 fingers.
All right, guys, I gotta cross my arms here, and I gotta say something. Technically, humans only have 4 fingers each hand. The thumb is an appendage, technically.
And I gotta say, wowie, are those fingers accurate?
He got a very special watch from his parents on his 7th birthday. Whew. By the way, I don't know if people listening have ever read a 7-year-old's writing. It's a journey. So when I first turned to this page, I thought it was a fish.
What is it?
It's a watch.
Oh.
Watches I've ever seen. It looks like it would sell for like 500.
Guys, it's a very special watch.
It almost kind of looks like a sundial.
This watch could take him to different time periods from the past to the future.
I do want to comment that picture on this page. So I was trying to figure out forever what the thing on the left is. I know for sure that on the right is a Coelophysis because that is like textbook Walking with Dinosaurs Coelophysis. I know what that is. I'm pretty sure the thing on the left is a Dimetrodon, which makes sense because that came before Coelophysis. And I just want to apologize to all the Dimetrodons out there, because that's a really horrible drawing of a Dimetrodon, and I almost certainly would have called it a Dimetrodon at the time that I drew that picture. So my apologies to Synapsid Kind.
I was gonna guess that it was a camel, so.
Folks, I'm so sorry about the delayed reactions. It's so hard to move this mouse.
No, it's so much better that way.
His favorite period was the Jurassic period. We've got a very lengthy Stegosaurus, I believe.
Looks like he has two legs too.
Man was bipedal.
He went into this period often because he liked the Brachiosaurus the best.
No comment.
It's got a very short tail. Very stumpy.
I will add the reason that they only have two legs is because it's in 2 dimensions, so the other legs are just behind the other. Right, they're standing perfectly still, exactly lined up. That's why you can't see the other legs.
I will say the Brachiosaurus looks like it would fall forward if it was real. The tail is not a good counterbalance in that picture.
Agreed.
That's all just constructive criticism.
I mean, the Spino's definitely falling backwards, but, you know, or Stego. This was his favorite because it wasn't mean or flesh-eating. There's a very large gap between was and nt.
See, I think you guys are missing the point that it was neither mean nor flesh-eating. Like, you could be nice and flesh-eating, but it wasn't either.
This is a very, very accurate tree. Very, very accurate for the time period, especially.
How far trees have come.
One day when Ryan was in that period, he decided to bring one home to the present.
That's a big problem.
Don't spoil it.
We have another T-posing Ryan.
Oh, without the magic watch.
Much less earthy arms.
I was gonna say it looks like you got them fixed.
Or he just skipped all day of one.
Oh wow.
I just turned the page and said, "Oh wow!" So they arrived and found themselves in Ryan's backyard. Ryan has been squished. And there's what I assume to be a red fence. I hope. I don't know what it is otherwise.
Hang on. Okay, can I see the picture? Because actually, I was staring at this for a long time, trying to figure out why the sky is on fire. And now that you say red fence, I think that's what it was, because my backyard did have a red fence. So I think that the sky is not on fire, but I don't know why I didn't draw the rest of the fence, only the top.
The implied fence.
Illustrating is tough.
Ryan was excited. The Brachiosaurus was hungry and started to eat the flowering crab. Not a crab apple, just a crab.
I will add that for this specifically, I do vividly remember asking my teacher, what are some different types of trees? Because I didn't know any types of trees, and one she suggested was flowering crab. And so that's just what I wrote.
This tree notably has branches going from the ground to the top of the tree. Parallel and fairly evenly spaced.
It will be capturing any and all sunlight that dares speak between the upper branches.
I mean, haven't
It
you guys ever
almost-
seen a flowering crab before? Like, come on.
It looks like a ladder pretending to be a tree.
Uh-oh.
Pseudo-Ludo.
This one's Ryan's mom's favorite tree.
I'm so happy we're learning so much.
Ryan jumped on the Brachiosaurus's tail, climbed onto his back, and up his neck, all the way to his head. You'll see the pictures up on screen, but his arms are very long again.
Yeah, generally just a great action shot of some really impressive parkour. Really fantastic.
Well, yes, the arms are long, but I'm pretty sure we've determined that is Ryan's defining characteristic at this point. His arms are extremely long.
I think it's more that Ryan's arms are extremely flexible. He's got Gumby arms.
The Chiefs scored a touchdown.
Great.
He yelled, "Stop eating Mom's favorite tree!" That's the whole page. It looks like the Brachiosaurus has a branch in its mouth. I think that's its
I
mouth.
think that's my favorite drawing in the whole thing, too.
He's feeling very happily in this picture, not at all upset about his mother's favorite tree.
He just kept eating till there was hardly anything left. And there's pictures of the tree, of the very thick trunk, and just bare branches. Except the leaves on the top. There's still leaves on the top.
It's not like the Brachiosaurus had any method of reaching the leaves on the top.
Then the Brachiosaurus looked around and saw a big oak tree in the neighbor's yard. It sure is a big oak tree. Ryan tried to stop him, but the Brachiosaurus was in big trouble.
That one, I feel like that's... that sentence got away from me as I was writing it, I feel like. The Brachiosaurus was in big trouble, sure. Still like hanging from the Brachiosaurus.
Oh wow. He got beefy again.
He quickly tried to jump off the Brachiosaurus's neck. His arms are just massive.
Listen, you gotta beef up if you're gonna jump off a Brachiosaurus neck.
You don't have a choice.
What was the word for that from earlier, Carl? No, like the bicep curls.
Oh, the Rolleiflex.
The Rolleiflex, yes.
As he jumped, the watch fell to the ground, and when it fell, a button was pushed. The watch has turned from an ornate wristwatch to a black circle.
It really looks like he just forgot to color it in.
It was the Jurassic period button that instantly sent the Brachiosaurus back to the past. I think this is an explosion of green energy.
I'm pretty sure you're right. Yeah, and you can see it's like engulfing part of the Brachiosaurus too. I don't know what that part of it is, but apparently it was sent back to the past.
I mean, my first thought was it just stuck its head into a tree.
It was, in fact, hiding from the watch.
Ryan was happy to be rid of this huge problem before his neighbor's tree was eaten. And you know, he sure was. His arm day had paid off.
Yeah, there's just a pause for laughter here as they see the next illustration.
It apparently runs in the family.
Ryan told his mom what had happened. She didn't yell at him, but said, "Only use this watch when a parent is with you."
So responsible.
His mother has the longest arms of all.
Okay, now listen. here's the thing. You guys know what my mom looks like. Carl, you've met my mom. Daniel, obviously. None of you knew her in 2002. This is a spot-on drawing of what she looked like in 2002.
And we have to take your word for it too. That's the worst part.
The only surviving record of your mother in 2002.
So she took the watch and put it in a safe, secret place. Brian never did that again.
Wow. That's awesome.
The watch, from my best interpretation, was put near a brown box.
I'm pretty sure she's putting it on a high shelf out of Ryan's reach, which is saying something because his arms are huge.
Wait, wait, okay, so she does have really long arms, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, just making sure.
Brown box.
Just next to the brown box. It's not put away or anything. It's just sitting up there.
So, okay, that was the giant problem. I don't know. I think my favorite part about it in retrospect is that, like, Ryan didn't really do anything to solve the problem. He just kind of, like, sent the Brachiosaurus home by accident, and that was just the end of the story. Like, everybody was perfectly in character. Ryan was just incompetent. The Brachiosaurus was hungry, and the mom was like, yeah, I have a hopeless son. Like, I feel like it was a good story all the way around. What do you guys think?
I feel like when historians dig this up in a few hundred or thousand years from a crater, and they look back to see what humans looked like back then, because we're going to be so much drastically, like, physically different. They're going to take that and put it in a museum and create like 3D models of it.
So they're not going to know what people looked like in 2002, and they're going to use this to reconstruct.
100%.
I'm so glad there wasn't, any real conflict or any struggle other than 1.5 trees being eaten, because it could have gotten really bad.
Yeah.
I do also appreciate knowing your mother, how she reacted to her flowering crab being completely destroyed. Oh, yeah, just don't do it again.
Yeah, I think that I definitely, like, I was like, this is how I want to be punished when I do things wrong, Mom. Don't yell, just give me a reasonable punishment. Don't use this watch unless a parent is with you. That's very reasonable. All right, well, that was One Brain Ops bonus content. Thanks. Bye. Carl, what was the final score?
Overall?
No, for the bonus content.
Oh, for the bonus content, the loser is Ryan's mom.
Oh. See, I really thought it would be the flowering crab.
No, the flowering crab doesn't have emotions like Ryan's mom. The winner, I would say, is the Brachiosaurus. It just got to eat.
Yeah, other winners include Ryan's teacher for having to grade this masterpiece. Getting to grade this masterpiece.
By the way, hopefully he puts the cover on this, because that Brachiosaurus has.
Oh, one other thing that I didn't mention is if you look at that very first illustration again, I love that the arms are so long that it didn't fit on one page. Like, I had to cut off the hand and put it on the next page. Okay. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.